Hi everybody. So I promised I'd try and do a video of the inside of this little smart car that I've got for sale. Hopefully I've got the camera, well, it's my phone, rubber banded to a holder up on the windscreen next to me. But hopefully you can see out of the front windscreen, see the dashboard, you'll be able to see the warning lights. And hear all of the noises, and I shall do my best to remember not to open the window, because that will kind of ruin things. Anyway, smart car. All the lights come on the dashboard as they should do. And go out like they should as well. The ventilation. It's pretty warm, so I'm going to have that on a little bit. It's not air conditioning. I shall pop the there we go. You can probably hear that it's a little bit noisier from the back end than it should be. Well, a little bit more boomy. And what we'll do, we'll just go for a short little drive, take it up to 60 odd mile an hour, and hopefully that will show everything. Anybody that doesn't know, this is the base spec, this is the pure spec, and this type of spec, can't talk, this is why I'm not a YouTube star, this is the lowest of the low spec. So while some of the higher specification Smart 450s had a semi-automatic transmission, this one you have to shift it all by yourself. It's a 6-speed, 6th gear is geared extremely long. Presumably it'll quite happily cruise at 70 miles an hour on the motorway. I've never taken this thing onto a motorway, I've only used it as a local runaround. So what you may or may not have heard at that point was, as I was slowing down then, because the car doesn't know that all the wheels are rotating at the right speed, it feels like it's skidding, or tells itself it's skidding, and uses the ABS to try to sort that out. But that said, it still stops plenty quick. It's perfectly capable of doing an emergency stop in it. And I'm reasonably sure that it's just the tracking that needs to be looked at. Worst case scenario is it needs new reluctor rings on the hubs. Or an ABS sensor repaired. I'm not sure it's either of them. because otherwise I feel like I'd be doing the juddering constantly and the triangle light would be flashing all of the time, which is what makes me just think it's the tracking, because it only tends to do it on a right hand bend. Anyway, national speed limit. Let's wind this up to 60. I'm hoping you can see the needle. That's 40. The light's getting a little bit more excited now. I'm not doing a foot to the floor acceleration. It will, believe it or not, accelerate faster than this. Yeah, it's 50. Cut the power a little bit then. It seems to think it's skidding and sliding all over the place, but it really isn't. Power cut just now. Just doing a bit of power modulating. On a longer drive, now this probably won't be long enough to achieve it, but on a longer drive, that light quits flashing and just becomes steady on, because the computer's basically had enough of trying to modulate everything. That disables the ABS by itself, and it disables the electronic stability program. 29,100 miles. If you're not driving like an idiot, then you really don't need to worry about such things. This is pulling in 6th gear now. There we go, another bit of annoying power cut as we come around the bend there. Drop a gear. Remember, it's only the 599cc motor in the back of this. Yes, it has a turbocharger, but it's still tiny. Serious front end. It is not a quick car. Do not expect, if you're new to the concept of a smart car, do not expect it to be in the remotest bit fast. It's nippy around town, but it's not fast. Some of the odd things that I've got used to while driving it. The foot pedal for the brakes is floor hinged. The master cylinder is actually underneath the floor, so it pivots down through the floor. It feels a little bit weird until you get used to it. If this guy's having engine issues. Ah, no, cyclists. watch it nail it. I'll turn around somewhere and do a foot to the floor on the way back. 0 to 60 type affair. When slowing down, the car will automatically change the gear for you. So that it's ready to nip away from a junction or a standstill. Turning's easy. Parking this thing is easy. Everything about this thing is easy. Fueling it's easy. It's a tiny little tank and it lasts ages. I've heard someone say you get 65 to the gallon out of it. Now, I've never experienced that. I have experienced 45 around the town. Easily. It's not even trying to behave with it. That's, you know, thrash. Because the gearbox is an automated manual type gearbox, it takes ages in between each shift. It has a clutch plate as well. When you're moving away, it does feel a little bit strange. It's not like an automatic, a straightforward automatic with a hydraulic torque converter, which is very smooth on the move off. It doesn't creep when you lift your foot off the brake pedal either. You actually have to touch the accelerator pedal to get it to do some creeping. Let's not run that over, whatever that was. I'll do the 0 to 60 along here. Okay, I know I'm pointing downhill, but forgive me that. Okay, I would have done 60. I promise you it would have done 60. It's just that it started to throttle back the power all by itself. post this car onto, rather as I post this video onto YouTube, the car's currently sitting at £360, which is a bargain for this car. As you can see, it starts, it runs, it drives. Has the best part of 5 months MOT on it. It's economical, it costs 30 quid a year in tax, dirt cheap to insure. Oh, it will come with a clock, but the clock is detached because the clock wasn't working. All of the car's instruction manuals with it. It has what's called the smoker's pack, which is a tray down in front of the gear lever where it's got an ashtray inside it. The head unit, being a tape deck, does have a CD input. And it has a phone mute as well, but that's all completely as stock. You get 2 speakers in the front, so if you want to stick a subwoofer in the back, well, you're going to take up all of your load bay. It could be amusing. Decent sweep on the wiper blades, as I'm sure you can see. Anyway, that's us coming back into Oban, so get it parked up again. We'll go down the narrow way. I know people do bring vans down here, but there's so many other things it's easier than this. Somewhere safer, I'll demonstrate that it does an emergency stop in good order. You'll probably hear the vacuum cleaner that's behind me move around when I do it. The phone might even fall off the screen. That would be just my luck, the number of phones I get through. demonstrate by driving down these little roads is that for around town and in the city travel, you're not going to have any issues with this at all. Drives superbly at the lower speeds. It's just the higher speed cruise that it's a little bit annoying with. I don't know, this bit looks quite good, so 20 mile an hour to nothing. I'm surprised the vacuum cleaner didn't fall over, but I suppose it is wedged in behind me. The house keys fell off the other seat though. Walk home in the wet. Oh well. No power steering, but in case you're wondering, yes, you can palm it around. The main reason that I don't is because as a bus driver you kind of get used to not it's always a reasonable idea to keep both hands on the steering wheel. Anyway, that's a little drive out in the Smart. Happy bidding, folks. If there's anything that you need to know as well, please just click the Ask Seller a Question button. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to say is that in my mind this is a good little runaround for somebody. I just have too many cars, including that VW Phaeton that's sitting over in the other side of this car park. And not enough time to play with them all. So this one can get used by somebody else. Cheers then, folks. Bye for now.